immediately slammed down pick number 1, none other than stealing away Berserker Aphelios. I always want to title it Berserker's Aphelios.
Yeah.
But I think that is a very, very smart steal from Evil Geniuses, just to take that away. It has been by far the champion that Berserker has had the most success with, and stealing away is as effective, basically, you know, as banning it, because it's also been quite good for Danny. Remember, in his rookie year, Danny had so many explosive Gale Force Aphelios all in place himself. So 2 of the youngest AD carries that we have in the entire league, and 2 of the most talented going head-to-head, fighting over these champions. There we go. That's why I call out the Soraka. I was building up the story. I was like, oh yeah, JoJo's definitely got it on his mind. That was kind of a guess. Obviously, it's proven true here.
The Ivor, he's calling Fudge out in Champion Select. He's letting him know.
He's been
we know what you're
on
all about now.
Fudge is like, yeah.
Well, we got Aphelios, we got Nautilus, and instead of having a jungler drafted in the first part of the draft here, instead it's going to be the Syndra immediately picked for EG. Jojo will be piloting that one against the Ryze that they've already been able to see from the side of Cloud9. They've got that Karma over there too. What does C9 want to do for this 3rd pick? The Ezreal getting locked in before more AD carries can get banned.
Yeah, Karma Ezreal is such a strong lane. Karma, that's why Karma actually draws bans a decent amount of the time. Nobody really bans the Ezreal. You ban the Karma because she can be paired with so many other of those poke style champions and those strong early game possibilities now. So Ezreal, Karma, very strong lane. Karma also shores up some of the wave control there, because your mantra Qs can be big harassment and blow up the ranged minions. So I like locking in this duo for Berserker and Winsome really early on in the draft phase here, and that leaves you open to banning away Impact's champions, because last time around they played, Tryndamere was the champion that Impact actually got that lead over Summit that he was referencing in our little video that we just played, and what he wants revenge on. And they're really trying to set up Summit for success here. They're on red side for Cloud9, and so you want to save your counter pick for Summit, and they're even banning out some of Impact's best champions.
But EG returns the favor. They ban out the Gnar that Summit is so comfortable blind picking too.
And they already banned out his other most famous pick. It is the Jace. So 2 bans from EG targeted at Summit. These are his 2 best champions that he has played the most, has had the most success on. That all of the other players, by the way, all the other top laners in the league talk about him on, is knowing both sides of this matchup. And he's going to have to dig a bit deeper to impress this time around, to impress Impact.
All right, so we've got the Lee Sin, final ban of the draft for Cloud9, taking that one away from Inspired. And hey, Evil Geniuses, they're sending another ban towards that top side. The Graves banned away here. C9 obviously not going to lock this one. And maybe just shout outs to the old school days with High. Throw up the little bit of the Teemo hover there, going back to their roots. But hey, here's somebody who has been mysteriously absent from the ban table, who is often a power point in games where she gets drafted. Gwen being hovered. Do we want to lock that one in?
I for sure do, because you ban Tryndamere away and they ban Graves away. So there are not easy drop-in answers to this Gwen. And I'm very curious. Impact has had things in store that he has talked about and have remained hidden. I want to see if he's actually willing to pull it out here. The Akali is one of the answers into Gwen. There are a couple spicier ones, but if he's not going to reveal them, then we'll leave it at the Akali. Definitely excited. Impact Akali. He was one of the ones that also fully embraced really early on the Chemtank Akali, back when Chemtank really quickly stacked on
those
dashes.
interactions that were really, really good with her.
Don't expect it to be the go this time around, though it is still doable, just doesn't do as much damage as it previously did. Still think that like kind of bruiser builds that incorporate. Oh yes! Oh! We got Kha'Zix, baby! Oh hell yes! Inspired Kha'Zix! Are you kidding me?
We got Shyvana and Kha'Zix in the same day.
Assassins galore, Flowers! I am so happy today. You're right. Oh my goodness, Kha'Zix has always been, over the last 5-6 years in solo queue, one of the most popular junglers, because assassins flourish there.
Yep.
And yet, very rarely ever makes its way into pro play. The bug, honestly, has a hard time operating in team fights. But if they already are investing in assassins with Akali, and they've got mid lane pressure here with Syndra setting up stuns on Ryze, and Jojo always tries to play this matchup to its extreme, to the most aggressive. Now I'm really excited to see if they can actually make use of this kill pressure.
This is a league built on speed and precision, where everything needs to perform at a pro level, especially your hardware.
Yeah, they blocked the road. They want to complete the final piece of the puzzle. They don't have enough damage for it, but who cares? It's all a formality, baby. The winner of LCS Lock-In.
Even if you're hard stuck plat, like me, forever. Roccat, the official mouse and keyboard of the LCS.
Oh, Kobe, I love me a light show, and I love me some deviations from the meta, and you were spelling it out. The Kha'Zix is downright devious. How do you expect this one to go for Evil Geniuses and Inspired, particularly around this jungle pick?
I love it, Flyers. You know me, I love any sort of weird pick, but I especially love solo queue jungle picks, baby. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And these things, let me just say, for season 12 so far, there's only been one pick of a Kha'Zix in a top 4 region, and that was in LPL by your boy SOFM.
And let's see, what was our final score here? 1-0-7 victory.
Who goes by his own style, but when you pick a Kha'Zix right here, you do have a big discrepancy in scaling. Volibear has way better early ganks than Kha'Zix. Can be one of those champions to actually squish this bug.
Yep.
It's going to mean that Inspired, I'm gonna hyper focus on his route. For me personally, I usually try and go opposite quadrant start of a Volibear, because if you match Volibear,
End up somewhere different.
exactly,
Don't fight it.
You don't want to end up on the same side of the Volibear, because the early pressure difference will result in you losing out on either camps or getting counter ganked and killed. So they're actually using Cloud9, I think, intelligently, the early power of the Volibear to force the invade on the Gwen side, because Akali is very, very weak in the early levels. This will give Summit a nice lane he knows up here, being unassisted by his jungler. If Blaber kind of just counter jungles this blue quadrant, then Impact knows he can't get over aggressive on Summit. He wants to try and utilize this counter pick, but it's going to be difficult unless Inspired actually makes Blaber pay. He does see him. They actually see him pop over on the blast cone, so Blaber won't be surprised, and he gets out of there.
Man, that just ends up as a TY for leash moment. Blaber's able to walk away from it without taking any damage, but hey, Inspired's not feeling too bad.
And I just want to highlight how crazy that could have been, because that whole time, this was without mid lane pressure. This was already Syndra pushed all the way up. We mentioned in Champ Select, Jojo loves to play this matchup to its edges, to its most aggressive, harassing the Ryze under tower to get the most out of it, and he's doing that versus Fudge. He's getting his CS lead. So that just highlights how dangerous that invade was for Blaber, and that's why he didn't even turn around for one auto on the small wolf that was like 10 HP. He's like, you know what? I am not dying for this 10 gold or whatever.
Right,
You know what? I am not turning around, because if I turn around for a second, Syndra might collapse back on me, and they might actually catch me.
Discretion is the better part of valor, and Jojo is also going to show that in the very, very quick flash away from Blaber as he's running at him, because he knows if Blaber's the first one to flash and hits that stun, the follow-up potential there with a root from the Ryze could be very deadly, so Jojo just wants to avoid that entirely.
Exactly, because your combo with Volibear and why the ganks are so impressive are a Q to start for the extra move speed, then running at them, and if you get in range for the flash, then you call down the E and flash to stun them on top of it and guarantee the slow, so they can't get away. So even if they answer flashes, they're screwed. Fudge goes in.
There it is. Now Blaber's got the flash. Now they got the follow-up, but it'll be a 1-for-1 as Inspired is here to take down Fudge too. Both mid laners fall, the junglers both show up, but it's Blaber taking the kill on one side, while Jojo gets the credit on the other.
And I'm trying to debate who actually feels better about it, because even if we take out the first blood, getting a kill early here onto Syndra and having him pushing up, like it's a giant CS lead already for Jojo, and he actually gets the kill credit. But obviously Cloud9 happy that they got the kill first, so they started out, they flash in, they have the damage to finish it. Blaber gets his full combo we were talking about. Fudge is able to get enough damage, and they barely get off the first blood extra bonus 150 there for themselves. But Fudge himself is thinking, shoot, this is very painful. Okay,
yeah.
Syndra got the first blood, got the kill credit money, and not only did I lose out on the early minions, but Jojo is going to continue pressing me. It does mean your wards around mid lane are extremely important because both junglers could easily come to repeat ganks on these flashless mid laners that don't have dashes for themselves. It's just that the threat from Jojo is a lot more scary with the longer range of the Sun's setup. Blaber is, of course, a bit more scary on the Volibear, much less so now that he doesn't have Flash, though, to actually close the distance, because Scatter the Weak is very effective against champions that just run at you.
You know, Kobe, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring lately, and sometimes before you walk into a room that's got a very hard boss, people will leave messages on the ground that say something like, suffering ahead. And that's kind of the message that Fudge is writing on the ground here in mid lane, because dealing with this Syndra, who's already got this lead, who's playing this aggressive, who's such a skilled player like Jojo, it's going to be a bit of a suffering laning phase here for the Ryze.
And Jojo's building with confidence, too. I always like really early Darksteel purchases, especially if you are on a lane that does want to play off of kills. Let's talk about Inspired here, though, has come into a counter gank scenario.
Okay, Impact at about 300 HP. He doesn't have much of a way out, but he levels up to 6. And that gives EG the ability to outplay instead. Summit's still alive, but he's got 100 HP. He doesn't want anything to do with this. So everybody's just going to walk away, and it's Impact who gets to stay in lane and shove out another wave.
Really nice evasive maneuvers from the EG boys there. Inspired has to flash away from the Volibear. Again, you still have to respect the early game of the Volibear. Late game, Kha'Zix will scale a lot better, especially when you get your W evolve and you can also play from range rather than fully committing. But early on, has to give up the pressure. He flashes away, and Impact gets his level 6, uses his R1 to go through him. They get out, and they even get the crab off of support roam timer here from Vulcan coming in with the Nautilus and scaring them away.
Yeah, both supports were able to rotate to the fight. You saw Winsome up there as well on the Karma, but the threat of that Nautilus being able to lock you down while Syndra and Kha'Zix have the burst to guarantee they win the race to first kill in the skirmish means EG get the reward.
And Jojo gets to the Sork Shoes rush on Syndra. Level 6 Syndra Sork Shoes is such a power spike in the game. He definitely has kill pressure on pretty much everybody. Even,
you can't be tanky yet, really.
Yeah, even Volibear, who the ultimate will give you some help there, definitely going to make everybody second guess. C9, though, they will take the opportunity to just burn down the dragon, even as Fudge is walking back to mid.
There we go. Blaber picks it up for the team. Early Hex Tech Drake for them. A little bit of attack speed, a little bit of CDR. Feels good on pretty much anybody. Infernal's going to be your second one here 5 minutes from now. Pretty early take for C9 to get these things rolling already. Looking up at the top lane, some itemization you don't see a ton of, but the Verdant Barrier there picked up early for the Gwen of Summit.
Yeah, really good in magic damage matchups. So very, very efficient component still, even after getting touched. Much more so even than the armor version that you build going into a Zhonya's. It's actually way more efficient than Armguard. Armguard actually sucks in comparison.
Do you remember back when Armguard had 160% gold efficiency? Oh, never mind. We can't even talk about that because Blaber brings the dunk to the mid lane.
Every time Volibear's got flash, you can make a play on Syndra. No flash means you get Scatter the Weak, and the play goes in the dirt. Berserker does get hooked, but should be okay.
Berserker gets out. Danny's got a lot of chakrams just throwing those out there at both of the C9 players, but honestly, all 4 bottom lane guys lose a lot of HP
Good timing.
here. Inspired has made his way up into the top lane. He'll look for the damage on Summit. Gwen might be immune, but only the things that aren't nearby, and that bug closed the gap. The kill goes over to Impact.
Perfect timing there. You know, he's watching this minion wave as it's pushing up to the tower. Summit moving towards the river, and Inspired, excuse me, is the one to take the jump, while Impact doesn't give anything away.
Yep.
It's always very important that your top laner doesn't give away your move that you're going for. Don't alter your movements too much, or players at this level will just read your movement in your change in your movement and be like, okay, I'm not going close enough to that brush.
Exactly.
Because he does, Inspired gets the distance there. Very nicely timed on that gank.
It's one of the most important lessons I think that a lot of players end up learning in their own solo queue games is don't telegraph your allies' own plays.
Exactly.
Very, very important stuff. Bottom side here, Vulcan goes for the dredge line, but he only finds the minions. Jojo's arrived, fires off the ulti there onto Winsome, but without the other spells connecting, it's not enough damage. Still forces the flash, though, out of the Cloud9 support.
Yeah, he was looking for the double Scatter the Weak play. This is really effective early on. Let's see about this 1v1, though.
Summit trying to get away here from Impact, fighting back with a little bit of snip. Blaber has arrived. Here comes the lightning. Here comes the thunder. Here comes Volibear. Killing spree for C9's jungler.
I must caution, as I do in all Volibear games, where the Volibear is getting the kill credit, though, Flowers.
Right.
Volibear is a monster in the early game. Scales very poorly because
He's a good meatball in mid-game.
Yeah, he does turn into a bag of health with a single target stun. Now, it's very, very difficult because you're going to give up your bounties a lot of the time. Summit's going to die here to Inspired.
Yeah, a little bit of greed. Punished nicely from the EG jungler.
Ooh, the wave as well. He can keep it for his top laner. What a jungler. Keep the aggro, keep it in front of the turret. Even though Cloud9 gank first, they get the kill first, it's a better situation for Impact.
Yeah.
He goes down, but guess what? Inspired gets the kill on your lane opponent, and then is able to deny the wave for you, stacks up the cannon wave in front of your tower. All those minions die before Summit even teleports back.
And one thing I want to point out, this build from Inspired is the same thing that I saw in the recap that you brought up for the one game that we got in LPL with SOFM in his Kha'Zix in that build, the Umbral Glaive Rush. This item gives you so much extra vision control and ability to navigate the map safely and be a surprise, which Kha'Zix needs to be because, as you already said going into this game, he has trouble team fighting traditionally. We've got a dive coming out from C9. Four-man play comes through. Blaber's ulti turns the turret off and makes that way too easy for C9. But again, it's both kills over to the bear. Impact Summit 1v1. Who's going to win it? Are we even going to get a winner? Or do they just both walk away, shake hands, say, all right, good fight, see you later?
Look for that.
No way,
Look
right?
for that E cooldown. Impact hits the Q.
Okay, Summit at 100 HP.
Got enough energy for another passive
Summit knows he
auto.
doesn't win these now, tries to get away. Okay, second 5-point strike doesn't hit, so Summit can walk it off.
Definitely a close one there, playing on the edge. It's a fun thing about the matchup with Akali, trying to hit your E, but getting just outside of the W zone there, not able to time it as the W is running out. And does mean Summit walks away with his life, but Impact showing why he has the confidence to pick Akali into the Gwen matchup.
Oh, nice dredge line there from Vulcan. Fudge eats some damage. He will stasis that Scout of the Week to guarantee that he doesn't die, and now Vulcan's the one who's got to be concerned. A little bit more comes through, and Blaber has 6 kills.
This is not ideal. Let's say that the Volibear is getting all of the kills. Again, your bounty is going to be given over at some point unless you Omega Stomp this game. It's very hard for a Volibear not to die, being the front line and going in first. But, I mean, if you just Omega Stomp the game, he goes Legendary and never dies, it's fine. You don't give up that bounty. Topside is paying the price again, though. Inspired is back.
Two top laners just never stop the battle, and Inspired reads that as an opportunity for Kha'Zix to get his money. Summit still has the final charge of the ulti ready to fire. He'll shoot that one back into Inspired, but it won't matter. There's another kill. It's a jungler's world in this third game of the day, Kobe.
I love it. The Kha'Zix, and I wanted to see the Kha'Zix get early kills so that you can snowball and scale into the later stages. He's approaching level 11, which is so critical for this champion. When you get your first evolve, okay, it's great. You can evolve like Q and get some more neutral objective pressure. You know, it's great for isolated jungle targets and stuff like that. And you get a little bit more threat with setting up brush ganks on people if they walk into your isolated. But once you get the W evolve, your game changes because you can also poke and play from range. And you don't have to fully commit to some of these more scary melee champions, melee only ones. And with the very early investment, all this lethality, I want to see what he can actually do. Rift Herald also used on that top side to further accelerate him as well.
And Impact seems to be having a great time up here in this top lane. His duels against Summit feel like he's the one who walks away with a slight edge most of the time unless the junglers get involved. He seems comfortable on the Akali. He seems very well versed in how to play the champion properly. And that just means that Summit's going to have to continue trying to deal with this on the Gwen. Looking at Kha'Zix, looking at what he's going to evolve. His first evolution was... What do we got here? What are we looking at specifically in this game? Is that the... I'm
gonna assume it was the Q.
Does he have the big? Look at the animation.
Yeah.
No, he still has the normal animation. If he swipes backwards with his hand, if he does like a backhand smack, it's unevolved Q. He has to hit with both for it to be the evolved Q. So I'm not actually sure what did he evolve his R maybe. For those of you who are curious, yes, we actually all of the icons still look the same color. None of them are the red one. So we don't know which ability is evolved. Maybe he hasn't evolved an ability.
No.
I am just proposing. Look, I see 4 purple icons. Once we eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, yada yada.
So I haven't used the Dark Star skin, but the claws don't look longer. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's evolved Q. W he just fired off, and that's a single projectile.
The cooldown's really low. It's got to be Q. It's got to be.
I don't know. That was a 3-second Q. Doesn't it go down to like 2 or something? I don't know. That's he has the backhand slap. The backhand slap got evolved, but he doesn't jump far.
Well, he definitely doesn't have the W because the spike rack's not there.
Yeah, there's no W. There's no E. He ain't got any wings. Q or R. Q or R. Maybe it's the R. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, the jump is short.
You changed colors on the skins, but I haven't played Dark Star, so I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's the R evolve because But then again, there's chromas. I was gonna say I think the Dark Star is a bit like there's a bit more reddishness to the purple, but I'm not 100% sure. So maybe it's a chroma. I'm thinking this is R evolves. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, yeah, we were just informed that he did evolve the ultimate. It just didn't change the icon.
Okay, so we have a spectator bug. It doesn't change it.
Yeah, so it's R evolve and now W evolve here at level 11. But enough about Kha'Zix. We got another 1v1 here in top lane, and it's Impact again, just dominating, getting the solo kill.
Yeah, this time around, no Kha'Zix necessary. No jungler necessary here for him. And regardless of what you evolve for your first evolve, whether it is Q or R, R gives you better ganks because you have multiple activations for your ultimate for the stealth.
Yep.
But as we said, the Q evolve would give you better neutral objective control for the isolated damage. You still evolve your spike rack for second so that you can have the range, the slow, and be able to have non-committal fights.
Well, Blaber's going in here looking for impact. Remember, the Akali does not have any ulti to fight, but he doesn't need it because he can use the teleport to get away as soon as that Volibear stun is used because it's the only thing he has to interrupt the TP.
All right. Remember, he's still got a 600 gold bounty on his head for Blaber as well. So everybody from Evil Geniuses eyeballing that one. Anybody would like to receive it and get paid because everybody except for Vulcan is a carry champ on this team. They have so much damage on this team and scaling quite nicely. So with the level lead here, Inspired feeling pretty good despite the 6 kills that went over to Blaber. Plus he went with the Prowler's Claw, which is even more for the flat lethality. That's the whole thing with this type of build where you're rushing Umbral Glaive. Umbral Glaive is the cheapest lethality item, gives you also the vision advantages, but then the Prowler's Claw is the mythic that's going to give you the extra flat lethality. So he has so much flat lethality for the targets with no armor. The Ezreal, the Karma, really, really effective against those priority targets.
Plus the fact that he has the dash from it on top of the extra charge in his ulti gives him a lot of positioning and sticking power onto these value carries that he wants to be that threat against. Now, looking at this upcoming team fight, it's C9, who have a 2,000 gold lead and 2 Drakes already to their name. If they can grab this one, they'll be on Soul Point. And a Mountain Drake's Soul is very, very scary against an Akali and a Kha'Zix who really want to be able to burst you down. C9 looking for the Drake. Inspired coming around from the side. He opens up and he tries to get right back out. Berserker's going to be controlled, but Inspired's going to be killed. It's a 1 for 2 so far. EG have lost Jojo now too. Blaber's trying to stand and fight. The volley is so damn strong. Impact tries to deal with him, but the ninja can't beat the bear. He's already there.
EG lose 4, and C9 take the fight.
What a sweep for Cloud9! Blaber with the stopwatch survives, denies the bounty, and Cloud9 collect 4 kills and the Dragon Soul point. That puts them on 3 dragons at only 19 minutes into the game. What a team fight from Cloud9. Even with the controller inside the Dragon Pit here, they pull it out. They force Evil Genius's hands, and Inspired comes around for the flank onto the back line. He's looking for a low armor target, so he goes for Winsome. The shield is on Berserker. He tries to jump back out, but the rest of the team collapses. Meanwhile, Summit in the Gwen W tanks everybody. And even Fudge here flanking on the outside. Summit is able to immune everything. They then reorganize after Impact gets the assassination kill. Zhonya's stopwatch here from Blaber allows him the time that Impact can't finish the kill on either of them. Fully stacked Conqueror Gwen barely pulls out the last snip and takes him down as well.
That was so close, and look, top lane is not an island in this game, Mr. Kobe. It was the Gwen and the Akali contributing the most damage for both of their teams in that last fight. These two are going to be absolutely paramount for both of their squads. Even though Summit did not have a great laning phase, I mean, he, again, looked like he was constantly losing the trades by small margins, and then Impact got to the point where he was just starting to slam those 1v1s. Summit's 1-4, but he still finds a way to be effective in the fights, utilizing the power of Gwen being immune to get away from that damage like you were talking about. But damn, just one thing slightly different in that fight, and Impact could have cleaned up a couple of more.
Yeah, really, really well orchestrated there by Cloud9. Summit definitely making the most of that Gwen kit with the W. Let's see if they can actually leverage their poke damage with Berserker, with Winsome in the second time around, because there are a lot of pick opportunities for EG to try and get back into this game. You can see they invested all of their vision resources up here in the blue quadrant around the barren area of the map. So they have the vision control and they have the long range stuns to go for it, but bottom side is the action.
Oh, but the Volibear's ready to go and Jojo's already down. Summit takes the kill on that one, so that'll be his second one of the game. And one thing that I want to ask you, Kobe, as we're seeing this, Berserker just evolved his Manamune into a Muramana. Because he went Essence Reaver first, is this a Crown of the Shattered Queen Ezreal game because you're dealing with Akali and Kha'Zix?
I still want to go full damage, but I definitely would not be mad if I see it. Because, like you're saying, there is 2 assassins in the game. There's also long-range stun from Syndra. So even though you are Ezreal and you should have Arcane Shift, you don't always have all of your dashes available to you. So Crown would definitely go a long way against kind of building against the win cons of your opponents. So definitely like the idea. Though, when you build full damage, it also makes me smile.
Yeah, when you do full damage and you just get to blow people up with 2 or 3 Mystic shots, that feels awesome. But that was actually one of those questions that I was asking seriously and not just to facilitate a conversation. I honestly don't know the answer. I don't play Ezreal, so we'll see what they end up doing. What is Berserker going to go for his Mythic? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. But right about now, Cloud9 got 3 players grouped up here in the mid lane. Blaber together with the bot lanes. Blaber still has not died. 600 gold bounty on his head remains to be claimed. He's got the Sunfire Aegis. He's got the Frozen Heart, working towards what'll either be a Force of Nature or a Dead Man's Plate next to give him some more move speed. He's remained very relevant and very powerful on this Volibear throughout the mid game so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's only bad if you die. You know, he's got a great bounty on his head and he hasn't died. His broken stopwatch is still in inventory. He can turn that into a Zhonya's later. Currently, it looks like he is trying to build to the Dead Man's for the extra move speed, but whoa, Berserker's toast.
Berserker just took so much damage. He survives with 100 HP.
Oh my.
Impact can't get there in time. If that's old Akali where she doesn't need a target for R1, yeah, he's in trouble. But
so that play right there might make him think maybe of diverting to the Shattered Queen, but if he makes this Caulfield's Warhammer into Mythic, then it probably could be the Dustblade. We shall see. It prompts him to buy a stopwatch at the very least.
Yeah.
He just picks up a stopwatch after that play.
A little bit of safety.
Ouch, okay, I need some sort of defense against it. Now I have a stopwatch.
Hey man, you gotta respect the Kha'Zix. It's like you said, he's so good in solo queue because you can get picks when somebody isn't paying attention. If that's solo queue, that's probably a kill because he's just a little bit too farther forward. His team's not there to back him up or something. But Inspired's been doing a solid job here on the Kha'Zix so far. 5 out of 7 kill participation. Already got those first 2 lethality items, going for that Edge of Night next to not only continue the lethality, but give him some extra survivability as well for when he jumps in. But the Drake is spawning. It's Mountain Soul if C9 get it, and EG must respect that.
All right, starting it up once again. Can they get some Ezreal poke before the fight starts? Berserker has no summoner spells this time around because of the last engage there, and he's got to play safe. He's in the middle trying to get his poke down, does hit Vulcan.
Oh, Summit's already at half HP, but Blaber is already godlike. Summit buying some time here with a stasis. His Impact looks for his opportunity to come in on the flank. Jojo's trying to get away, and they've already managed to kill off Summit now. Cloud9 trying to retreat. Impact's got the angle, but Berserker's got the kill. Inspired is down, and Danny's ready to follow. Cloud9 turns it right back around. Jojo's trying to run, but Fudge says no, thank you. C9. Ace for one.
Sit down, kid, says Fudge. And it is Cloud9 with another massive dragon fight. Flowers, they ace them. Every member of EG in the dirt, and only Summit paying the price. Cloud9 get their Mountain Soul, and they will get their Baron. Blaber only needs one more kill before he gets himself the title of Legendary as well. Here's another look. They go right at Vulcan. The snare from Fudge allows the poke to come through. Berserker even arcane shifts over to make sure they blow up this Nautilus before he's able to get anything off. Then Danny, with all the shurikens, does burn down Summit. Baron, back to live, is dead, but can they all get out?
Okay, Blaber's the focus here at the start, but they're not going to get a whole lot on him. Summit's over the wall. Summit teleported in just to be able to be ready for this, but now there's no fight to have, so he'll back away. Impact continues trying to see if there's any Cloud9 backs to stop, but they're all there together, so he can't move up too aggressively. C9 gets back. C9's just fine. Mountain Soul plus Baron, as you said, this is a nightmare situation now for EG.
It certainly is. Nightmare of the Armored Bears. Coming for
Serrated Dirk. There you go. There's your full damage Ezreal. We're heading towards Duskblade, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, if he wanted to divert it and go for the Shattered Crown, yeah, couldn't blame him, but this game looking like it's going to be over before that even comes to fruition.
Oh
EG on the run.
Oh no, here comes the Volibear. Is he going to make the engage? It looks like he's looking for it. There comes your slow. There comes your follow-up. The turret's still there. He saves the ulti to make sure he can disable the turret with it. Turns around for one more quick punch to take it out. Jojo falls. The top lane tier 1 turret falls. The wave is coming up. The boys are ready to push the wave in. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Summit is just providing that split pressure, enchanting this wave. C9 rotating over, more men now to join up with Summit and try to make the dive here. Vulcan and Danny want to get away, but Summit's bringing lots of pressure here with the DPS. Vulcan will be the sacrificial lamb. Impact tried to flank, but he can't close the gap in time. Tier 2 turret mid, Tier 2 turret top. Both of them, nothing but a pile of crap on the ground. As C9 moves forward. Tier 3 turret, that one's up next. Why stop? 1, 2, 3, count them up, knock them down. C9, man, they are going hard for this push.
Yes, they are. There's no reason to stop. Still a minute left on this Baron buff Flowers. Vulcan's got 7 seconds left on the timer, but they might end it before.
Oh, Fudge is godlike, and Danny is gone. He will be no longer a part of this defense. And it looks like nobody else from EG is going to have much to say either. Jojo, Inspired, and Vulcan, they try to find anything they can, but the only thing they're going to find is defeat spelled across the screen, while Cloud9 collects the victory.
Well, Blaber never dies on the Volibear.
Honestly, just Blaber with the period. That's how I describe that.
He keeps his bounty as a badge of honor.
Salute.
Honestly, Cloud9, really, really big game from them. Evil Geniuses were in the process of bouncing back here. Had just got to 5-5 in LCS, but this Cloud9 team doesn't show any signs of stopping. This is now Cloud9 on a 6-game win streak in the LCS.
And we're building further and further and further towards our Cloud9 and Team Liquid showdown. But C9, man, we got to see a little bit of Summit not having that top lane dominance that he was known for this game. Again, the Gnar, the Jace, those 2 picks that he's known for got banned out. He played the Gwen, but Impact had a good answer in the Akali. Despite both junglers coming up there multiple times, Impact was better off coming out of that lane, but Summit was still able to have a good team fight performance. We both voiced concerns around, wow, Volibear sure got a lot of kills right about now, but it ended up not being a bad thing. Blaber with that perfect timing on the stopwatch there. Cloud9 out team fighting, and Cloud9 shining and showing why they're one of our top teams.
And that's just it. Those dragon fights were so massive for them. And the first one won by very small margins. And the key stopwatch, the small slivers of health, really nicely done by them.
And before we go, we just wanted to remind all y'all at home that we are headed to Houston for the spring final in April. We're
With
back,
crowds!
baby!
With crowds!
Back! Ticket info is going to be available soon. We cannot wait to get butts back in seats in Texas. On the other side, High's talking pro to pro before FlyQuest